welcome back to Ferrari 7 Oaks, and as the title of this video would suggest, today we're going to be taking out a Ferrari F50 onto the roads around the local area. As part of this series, we're driving the F40, the F50 and the Enzo all in the same very sunny day. And as if the F40 wasn't rare enough, they made just 349 of these cars, called the F50 because it was the 50th year anniversary of a Ferrari, carrying on 10 years later from the F40. Significance of it is naturally aspirated F1 derived V12, all driven through, importantly, this right here, the 6-speed manual gearbox. Now, this will be the very first time that I have experienced an F50 in passenger or driver's seat, but to be driving it today, it's going to be outstanding. Now, things to consider in this: no power steering, no ABS, no overly fancy traction control. It's just about as pure as it gets. V12 manual driving experience, ultra rare. The thing that's going to be standout on this car is that this has a very fancy straight through exhaust system. So the sound today with this roof section out is going to be absolutely ridiculous. So if you want to know more about this car, there's a further link below to when we were at Ferrari Colchester, which is part of the same group as 7 Oaks down here, where we have a bit more of an in-depth walk and talk through the big 5 Ferraris. So if you want to know about that, click the link below. But now, let's go out on this thing.
So hello, and welcome to an incredibly loud Ferrari F50. And as we did with the F40, one thing that you don't often find yourself doing is driving an F50 at all. One thing you certainly don't find yourself doing is driving an F50 through town. This is something that doesn't really get spoken about in terms of what these things feel like in sort of civilian speeds, really. And I have to tell you, other than this thing being borderline obnoxiously loud, it's actually really easy. I mean, this car has 0 power steering. That was one of its unique selling points, really. There's absolutely no driver assistance from this car at all. So when you're driving it slowly, it feels a little bit heavy maneuvering the car around. As soon as you get it rolling, look at that. There's no power steering in this at all. It's so delicate, it's so light, and yet so much tactile feedback to it. So I'm actually taking this exceptionally steady, not just because we are going through a town and trying to be respectful, but also this thing is so loud. I mean, so loud. I'm not sure how often the owner uses this car, but for me, if I had an F50, I'd basically be taking it to the shops every afternoon, and I think the exhaust might just be perhaps a tad too much. However, in a minute we're going to get out onto a road, and it's going to be sensational. Thunder, and there's not a cloud in the sky. I don't have any words. Even if I did, you wouldn't be able to hear them. This is the first time I've made a video where I think letting it do its own thing is better than me talking. Steering feel predictably phenomenal. No steering assist here. It's what is going on with the wheels as the true inertia that's going on through your fingertips. is the weight matching between the throttle, the pedal, the actuation of the gears. It's so beautifully weighted. Everything just feels so organic. Pedal placement for rev matching is just sublime. Pickup. It's so light, and the actuation of this open gated gearbox and the pops and bangs on the overrun, and the fact that it's kind of two cars in one because you can take the roof off. My good God, honestly, it's like it's too loud, but then when you get it on an open B road and there's no one around, you just turn off. I'm just imagining if you had any worries in the world, anything, you had a bad day, whatever, something on your mind, this thing focuses the soul. Never mind the brain. Listen, look at that downshift. When you do blip that throttle, the response and the pickup of that V12, God, it's sort of, it's connected to your tendons. The way that it reacts, it's part of you, you know? And something else which I haven't touched on yet is the display in front of you. I mean, when this launched in the 90s, it's beautiful now. It's one of the most iconic, but beautifully intricate instrument clusters in any car. And you get in it and something about it, while it still has that sort of analog feel about it, there's also something quite futuristic about it. Beautiful environment to sit in. The seats, they're so supportive. They look a bit retro, but they're supportive, you know? You feel quite reassured in it. And one thing I think is probably its greatest facet, which is very hard to convey on camera, is the confidence it gives you. If the car was too scary, you'd never really use it that much. The confidence the car gives you, even though it's pure analog, no driver assistance, no driver aids, ABS, traction control, any of that jazz, you don't feel like it's going to spit you out at a moment's notice. Maybe in the, well, maybe, definitely in the wet. Today, remarkably, we've got almost 30 degrees, British summer sun, the roof is off, and for a first drive experience, couldn't pick a better day or tick a bigger box.